For such a beleaguered unit, the Oklahoma State defense sure seems to have a lot of playmakers. I'm Barry Trammell. This is OSU writer Gina Mizell. We're here at the Opubco Studios in Oklahoma City, and this is an OSU update. And Gina, our man John Helsley today in the Monday Oklahoman wrote about all the Oklahoma State defenders that have worked their way onto watch lists for various awards. OSU's defense was a sieve last year, gave up a lot of points, a lot of yards, but there are a lot of veteran playmakers returning.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these watch lists and how much stock do you really put into them, but the only players so far that have been on watch lists for Oklahoma State are on the defensive side of the ball. You look at Calvin Barnett, Sean Lewis, Daytwan Lowe, Justin Gilbert, and there are guys kind of spread along each level of the defense. You've got a defensive lineman, you've got a linebacker, and you've got two guys in the secondary. So I think that just shows, yeah, like you said, there's expectations on this defense now with a new coordinator in Glenn Spencer, with a lot of returners, a lot of seniors. All those guys are seniors, Barnett, Gilbert, Lowe, Lewis. So I think that just shows the expectations that are on this unit coming into the season to improve.
How much does it help Oklahoma State that a guy like Calvin Barnett is back, a guy that's obviously a premier defensive tackle, a place where OSU has struggled to get elite players? How much does it help that that's where they're starting the building process for this defense?
I mean, I think it's huge. I think we saw last year, just in his first season since transferring from junior college, I mean, his stats weren't off the charts, but you could just tell how much he impacted this unit, whether it was plug in the middle of the field against the running game, whether it was getting pressure on the quarterback, getting into the backfield to make big plays. He obviously is, like you said, where this unit starts. But again, there's talent on all levels. There's still some question marks. Defensive end is probably the biggest one. There's a lot of youth there, a lot of inexperience. Tyler Johnson's really the only one with any experience, and last year was his first year playing defensive end. So it's certainly not there are still some questions going into this unit, but yes, Calvin Barnett certainly is a good place to start at defensive tackle.
Is this a case where going into this season, the Big 12 seems a little down on offense, lost a lot of great quarterbacks? Is this a place where Oklahoma State, if it's better on defense, it could be a lot better because the offenses expected to face are not going to be as good?
Yeah, and I mean, I remember you writing about that earlier this spring, that every defense in the Big 12 should probably see a little bit of an improvement just because the quarterbacks and the offensive playmakers aren't necessarily in the Big 12 that have been the last couple of years. So yeah, if this unit makes a considerable improvement, it'll seem like it made a great improvement. If it makes a slight improvement, it'll probably seem like a considerable improvement. So certainly under Glenn Spencer, this new aggressive style, playing tighter coverage, trying to get more pressure on the quarterback, it's still kind of a wait and see approach until we see in those first few games if it's really an improved unit, because last year this defense was kind of talking about the same thing and it didn't necessarily come to fruition. So still a wait and see approach, but I think we can see that there are expectations on this unit, and I think that's going to be the difference on if this team can really challenge for a Big 12 title or not.
Thanks, Gina. Stay tuned for further OSU football coverage every day in the Oklahoman and here on News OK.